we've seen, what the literature shows us, what research, our own research shows us, is that live music interventions are much more potent and effective than processes that use pre-recorded music. The reasons for that, some of the reasons for that is that live music is something that we can change in real time to fit the needs of the therapeutic needs of the situation in the moment. That's something that with pre-recorded music, at least where we are at this point technologically, is very, very difficult to do. There are certain contexts where in music therapy we do use pre-recorded music. One of those is not in between sessions. If you think about what a talk therapist would do with his patients, it's not very frequent, or I'm not very aware of it being frequent anyway, that the talk therapist would give his patient a CD of his voice speaking to him. And I think there's a really strong analogy there. Music psychotherapy, music and talk therapy share a lot of common ground. So the idea of giving someone a playlist in between sessions, you'd have to think of, well, what's the clinical goal of doing that? And things change in real time. Every single intervention that we do has an assessment before we do any work. Assessment is probably one of the most important things that we do to find out what it is that we need to accomplish with the patient. I can't see very many contexts where something given out in between sessions would have really strong clinical value or therapeutic value. But as I said, there are some cases where we use that. In radiation oncology, for instance, I can't be present with my patients during radiation therapy. And so they do listen to pre-recorded music, but it's pre-recorded music that is put together in a very concise, conscientious, and we think a special way. It is not just about trying to identify relaxing music. Pretty much any music or any sequence of music, well placed, can be relaxing at a given time for a specific person. But the sort of random use of music, or just relying on something like genre, or some of the newer technologies whereby you punch in a couple of keywords and you get sort of a prefab list of music that comes out, is not something that will likely have any strong therapeutic value. But there is a process that we're developing whereby you can actually prescribe pre-recorded music in some cases.